And, you know, a lot of people's jokingly called me Nino Brown, and I served 23 years on a 27-year sentence. Drugs back in them days, only drugs that I can even put my finger on was marijuana. But the purpose for him not letting me, telling him not to let me in the house, because the house was a weight house. A weight house, for those who don't know, was where they keep large quantities of drugs at. And so one day I was in there in a fly guy house, and he had maybe about 8 or 9 garbage bags of weed in there. And you can see the top of it. And I was finna reach and just grab a bud just to look at it. He said, "Oh, don't touch that. My brother told us not to touch anything in these bags." He said, "This is what I got off the floor already." And it was like maybe 2 or 3 ounces of weed. Fly guy stayed in the hallway at school and sold joints. So we always had money. And that, you know, because we thought he only sold, at least I did, thought he only sold marijuana, but I found out he sold hash, he sold angel dust, he sold cocaine, and anything else you probably would name. And that was pretty big. Matter of fact, we was in the presence of a Detroit drug lord, and we didn't know it. We called him Big T. Now, I couldn't really put my finger on how long he'd been in Detroit, because he was in Chicago at one while, and something had jumped off up there where a couple of people had got killed or thrown off the roof of a building, which made him actually, to my knowledge, come to Detroit. He was getting paid for it at the same time where he was selling his stuff in the streets. And one day, even at my job, my boss, so to speak, in a conversation with them, they was talking about they couldn't find weed nowhere in Detroit. And I was like, "Y'all can't find any weed?" It's like, "No." I said, "Well, you know, I know where to get weed from." They're like, "Oh, come on, BJ. Say, ain't no weed." I said, "Yeah, I know where to get some weed at." And they said, "You serious?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I know where to get you some weed." And he said, "Well, call and see, can you do that for me?" I told, technically, that was my first drug deal.